Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Eva and today I'm going to talk about the present moment. So the present moment is actually the only thing that we experience all the time. So now. You probably know that, you probably have read about it. I mean, I read about it so many times in books and I was like, it's so obvious. But then when we live our everyday life experience, there is a past and a future. So that's so weird, right? And I kind of want to talk about this from an energetical point of view, how it's shown to me, how I see this in the human system. So basically, we only have an experience of a past and a future because we have a specific mechanism in our system that makes us have that experience. And this mechanism starts breaking down over time when we are on the path of spiritual awakening or when we meditate, do spiritual practices and all of that, clear our human system. So basically, the past and the future is just an experience, and the experience of it is real, yes. But when the mechanism breaks down, we can't even experience that anymore. Okay, so how I always describe it. We have a central energy channel. It goes from the root to the crown chakra. This is where our life energy flows through the system. So life energy is all life experiences we're having. So life itself is just the unfolding of experiences. It's not more. Unfolding of experience in the present moment. There's nothing else. So, and it's energetic. So we have an experience. It's an energy coming up. And then we experience that energy with our senses, emotions, thoughts. It gets projected on the outside into our consciousness. So this is how we perceive it. And then we have this experience. And it's there for a certain amount of time. And then it leaves the system, ideally leaves the system fully. And then the next experience comes in and so on. So it's a constant unfolding of experiences in the present moment. Okay, from a very young age on, so when we're babies, this is still functioning exactly that way. And then we start when we, I don't know, go to kindergarten or around that age, school, we start to learn that we are not allowed to express ourselves and not do whatever we feel like. So we have to do certain things other people tell us to do, our parents or kindergarten teacher, school teacher. We can't express our emotions. We have to hold them back and so on. So the system starts not to fully processing emotions anymore. So emotions get stuck in the system. Also, when we have traumatic experiences and we can't like fully process them, the emotions get stuck in the system. So basically what the system does, it stores emotional memories. So let's say we have an experience in the moment and the system is still storing those emotions, right? Let's go with something we don't prefer. It's always more obvious to talk about. So we experience something that we don't prefer at all. And the system is not fully processing the emotions, then it gets stuck. The emotion is stuck in the system somewhere. And then let's say, again, a while later, we come into a very similar experience. That emotion that's stored in the system we experienced, let's say 2 weeks ago, gets triggered. So it gets triggered up. So we experience exactly the same emotions that we experienced 2 weeks ago, the resistance, the anger, the fear, whatever it is. So let's go with low vibrational energies because we didn't like that experience. And then the system assumes right away, okay, because we're in the same situation, the experience will play out in exactly the same way as it did 2 weeks ago. This gets triggered up. We experience in the present moment exactly those emotions, thoughts, and all of that we experienced 2 weeks ago. So these energies are coming up. And this is basically when we live in the past. So we bring past experiences into the present moment. And like I said, it doesn't mean that in the present moment, when we are in a situation, that will unfold exactly the way as it did 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we bring the past into the present moment. So we don't experience the present moment, we experience the past. But it's not actually the past because we are in the present moment, we just experience the emotions, so the stuck energies. And the same is with the future. Let's say we have to make a decision and we base it on experiences of the past, intellectual experiences, and we can also tap into them, into the emotional stored energies. And then we make a decision based on things we preferred or didn't prefer in the past, and we project it into the future. Let's say there is something coming up in 2 or 3 weeks time, and we have to decide now what we would prefer, and then we just measure or bring past experiences into the present moment. Mostly the mind does it, right? And then we go, okay, how did this feel like? How did this feel? And then what felt nicer, we're going to choose. So we project something we experienced in the past into the future and think just because in the past something happened, it will exactly unfold again, like I said before, in the present moment, but again, the same way in the future. So it's just a mechanism of the system. It's just a misunderstanding. So we choose something that we actually preferred or didn't prefer in the past. We bring the past into the future, which doesn't exist, because we can never know how things are unfolding. Things are always unfolding spontaneously. And yes, certain things unfold the same way. So we feel we can predict the future. Certain things are just predictable, right? That we get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, I don't know, we have the coffee or whatever we have. The dog comes in, or the partner, or whoever, like certain things are just happening over and over in a very similar way. But how we experience that is still very different if we live in the present moment, because we don't feel exactly the same way every day. Maybe we have changed, maybe our system has healed certain parts so that we don't even have access to like stuck low vibrational energies in the system anymore. So it's neutralized. So basically, life in the present moment is experienced always new and fresh, and we can never know like what's going to happen in next moment, really. So we can't. And this is basically the big mystery about living in the present moment. It's something we can practice, yes. It can be practiced to a certain amount. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna try to perceive the present moment. So you go through your day, but it will be quite quickly interfered with the thoughts. It will be quite quickly interfered with triggered energies, so past energies, that this emotional memory will be triggered. And then you right away, you're in the past or in the future. So most people hardly ever experience the present moment, or it's really hard to stay in the present moment. So meditation, of course, helps to stay in the present moment, because you're practicing it there, right? And the more you practice it, the more it can also unfold in your everyday life experience. But in the end, it's all about breaking down this mechanism, because like it's so hard to just really try to focus and stay in the present moment and not like drift away. It's like it's really, really hard, although it can be practiced, right? So I know there are spiritual practices, they teach that. But how do we break down this mechanism? Basically by clearing and healing the human system, so that we clear and heal all these stuck energies, the stuck emotions in the system. When we neutralize them, then it just means the system can't tap back into them anymore. So let's say something happened 2 weeks ago, we didn't prefer, and we still have, so we always will have the memory of the mind, but the emotional memory of the system is broken down. Okay, so that means I can't access how I emotionally experienced the experience 2 weeks ago. It's not possible anymore. So just can't. I'm in the present moment. It's not possible. So my mind can memorize or can say, okay, that's what I experienced 2 weeks ago was unpleasant, but it's just it's like a movie. It has no emotions attached. And then it's not possible to tap back into that. It's just, there's no possibility. And and then basically you can only have the present moment. You can only make decisions based on what's here now, so on the intuition, right? So I did a video last week around the intuition. It's all connected. Because the only thing that then comes up is the intuition, and not these stuck energies that are triggered. So, and then, you just live in the present moment. And when you do, you really realize, okay, there's nothing to do. nothing to reach, nowhere to go. That's all you have, and you can make the best out of it or not. So it's a lot around how you decide what you prefer and what not. So this is basically the free will we have. We have the free will to decide how we approach experiences in the present moment. Yeah. So I hope that makes all sense. I know it's a bit difficult when I maybe describe this with the system. So when I do my group healing sessions or also the meditation, this most of the time it comes up. So I work on breaking down that mechanism anyways for people, because it's just something that's a misunderstanding. It's a mechanism of the system that's not necessary. It's an old one. We don't need this anymore. It has no use. It just holds us in the past and in the future. And we really just want to live in the present moment, and that's it. Because that's, in the end, the only thing that exists anyways. So yeah, let me know if you have any further questions, of course, if something was unclear. Also, yeah, if you feel like you can live into the present moment, or if you need any more information, or yeah, sharing from my side, I'm always happy to answer comments. And also, if you are interested in a certain topic you want me to talk about, please let me know also in the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you for the next video. Bye bye.